Hola a todos. This is my take on PLEs in answer to Ricardo's email. What is my personal digital learning environment and how do I use it? Well, I guess my PLE is made up of a variety of tools that I use through my iPhone and my PC. Just to take the example of my hobby of learning Spanish, my iPhone has my dictionary on it. It also has apps that link me to Spanish newspapers, to a online community of other learners, and of course I use tools such as Twitter, Google Plus, Facebook, to keep in touch with Spanish speaking friends, so that by constantly reading their updates and adding my own responses in Spanish, I'm practicing the whole time. I guess that's the essence really of a PLE, is that it's something that is very portable, something that's always on, so that learning isn't something that I do at a specific time or a specific place. Having said that, I also speak on a regular basis to my Spanish tutor who lives in Burgos. I live in England, and we meet for an hour's conversation about once a fortnight using Skype. So again, a really important internet-based tool for enhancing my learning. Okay, what were your other questions? What are the main obstacles for building and maintaining a PLE? For me, I haven't really found any obstacles, but I do find it really difficult to talk to other people, to colleagues, to students, about the importance of PLE, because mainly because they are often struggling to grapple with the technology. Having been involved in using technology for a few years, it's not something that I now find particularly difficult, but I can really understand how it can seem like an insuperable obstacle to people who don't feel very confident with using Web 2 type tools. Certainly in my experience, it's been really difficult to persuade students who are not, in my case, on a course specifically aimed at developing their technological skills, to even engage with some of the tools that I find particularly easy. Even getting them to think about using things like Twitter or even Facebook for learning, for its learning potential, is quite a challenge. How has my use of technologies changed in the last 5 years? I would say my use of technology has probably grown exponentially in the last 5 years. Yeah, I would say going back to about 5-6 years ago, I used very few Web 2 tools. I was a bit slow in picking up things like Facebook and Twitter. I didn't really get them at all. I probably reached a peak about 2 years ago, and since I've been teaching full time, I have found it harder to maintain the momentum of maintaining a PLE, of maintaining my network, especially through Twitter, Google Plus, Facebook, etc. So yeah, it's now something I perhaps dip into more than use constantly, but certainly when I have a purpose, like learning Spanish or researching something I'm interested in to do with my teaching, then it's there and it does the job. And again, I think that's one of the fundamentals of what a PLE is all about. My views on the PLE versus VLE. Well, everything I've said about the PLE, I could pretty much say the opposite for the VLE. I don't have any friends on my VLE. I don't use it for my own learning. It isn't always there, always on. I have to log in. I have to go through institutional firewalls. I don't feel even that the students are particularly keen on it. They see it as a repository, somewhere where I put materials, put things that I want to transmit to them, but I'm not sure it really has a lot to do with learning, but it is useful as a repository. So I don't think there is a VLE versus PLE debate. Two different things, two different tools, two different purposes. Okay, so I hope you're all enjoying the conference or about to enjoy the conference. I'm sorry I can't be with you. I had a great time at the inaugural conference in Barcelona 2 years ago, and I'm looking forward to hearing the outcomes from this conference. Maybe it'll help me to think a bit more about how I can convince my colleagues and students of the value of the PLE. Adios.